welcome everybody to another another episode of the Top 10 Show. I am John Roca.
I am Matt. I can't get my hair to something that doesn't look weird to me. Nost. It's the one downside of the video. I get to see this, and I'm like, wow, it's just doing what it's doing today.
Matt is on a mic for the first time on the show. He's using a mic that we haven't used. You haven't used the mic since we started doing these COVID situations. So, are you comfortable with this thing now?
Yeah, it's a microphone, John. It's
all right. I just want to make sure.
It's okay. I felt this is one of the most natural positions in my life. Yes, so holding a microphone is easy peasy. I don't even think about it.
Have you ever done a show? You ever done a stand up, quote unquote, sitting down? You ever done a stand up just sitting down on a stool, sitting down on a chair?
Sure.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Wait, sit. Really? That's somehow surprising. It's sitting right there.
Some people like to walk around the stage and stalk the stage.
Yeah, but you're talking about one instance. Have you ever done this one? Yeah, of course.
Fair enough. Okay.
Is it my regular go-to habit? No.
There we go. Have you ever done it upside down? Apparently, I need to ask you more adventurous questions.
Well, upside down?
Yeah.
I can't even fathom if anybody's even attempted that. Why would you?
I don't know. I'm trying to ask questions.
I know one guy, his name's James Acaster. He did part of his special from his knees. He was on his knees. Wow. He just opened the show like that for like the first 10 or 15.
Couldn't do it on my knees. No thanks.
Nah. He's a younger man. So
limber man.
Just my knees can't take that crap anymore.
The shit's exploding now more than ever, though. It's back to having like a stand-up comedy boom. We were trolling around Amazon Prime. There's like 2,500 1-hour specials for these comics that never even heard of them.
That's the problem, though.
Right?
It is the problem. There's a glut. Not everybody needs a special. Trust me, I have watched some truly terrible ones on there. Specifically, I'm looking out, like searching for, in essence, asking myself, why did you put this on air? This makes no sense. Other than just to say I have a special on Amazon, but anybody can upload it to Amazon by and large.
Is that what it is? Is like they hire people to shoot their stand-up special and then they give it to Amazon Prime and say, we'd like to put this up there, and then they upload it.
Yeah, and I mean, there are some out there that don't make a penny on it. They're just doing it for the exposure, and Amazon takes the free content, I believe.
Oh my God. Wow.
So the barrier for entry is so fucking low, and you can see it. There's, it's utterly meaningless when somebody's like, I got a special on blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, it means nothing.
It means nothing to you all, to you stand-ups, because you all know the deal.
I mean, look, there are times like some guys put them out on YouTube, like Ellis did. There have been other, examples of that, and it's just that makes more sense to me because it's just a free platform. Hey, check it out, and I know you're going to like it, type of thing. And you can garner, if you turn on the ad revenue for that, you can make a decent amount of chunk of change. There are some guys that have 3, 4, or 5 million views from having done that.
Yeah.
And if it's got that many, then it'll continue to get stuff over time too. So, hey, I don't know. That's more viable than just giving it away and anybody can do it type of thing.
Did you ever have an interest in it? Like, did you ever want to do it, or was it not really kind of the thing you needed to do?
Sure. Who doesn't think about?
Well, I don't know. There's unusual people in the world. I don't know. Some people like some things don't. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a blanket statement for everything.
That's why I'm asking. I don't know that, are you one of those people who would necessarily, because I may not know. Ellis was driven to do one, seeing Eliza do so many of them. He would have occasionally comment about how he's just waiting around for his chance, and then it happened. So is it something, did you ever have an impetus or a drive to go get one?
He stopped waiting around and he did it himself.
Right. Exactly. Good point.
So there's the difference. You talk to most guys and they're like, just shoot it yourself and then sell it because then you own the rights to it. And if it's good, you can negotiate a better deal in a long term. And then there are future rights, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's always been the case of if you can afford it, pay for it, do it right, do it yourself.
Yeah. Interesting.
I've participated in several.
Okay.
And then by A, being there, but B, like I was there at Ellis's. I've been at several of my friends shooting theirs. But B, like some guys shoot little intros and whatnot, and I've helped to do those.
Wow.
Where it's a full shoot, and there's they've got craft services, and they've got director, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Paid extras. I've done that route too.
So what you're
essentially
doing is you're paying for a film crew. then you're renting a space and you're
Yep.
hoping people show up and buy the tickets for that space. You're probably not making a dime, or you're breaking even, depending on how you're paying the production crew.
Depends.
Yeah.
Because certain places, guys, they're taking the entire door. They know they have the fan base, so it doesn't matter. The night pays for itself.
Right.
And you get a special out of it.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
Yeah. And there's a million ways to do it.
Right. You haven't felt necessarily the impetus to do it. It's not been your thing.
I mean, there was a time then, but I don't perform as much anymore as I used to. I mean, it used to be 7 nights a week, as many times as I could get up every night of the week. And now I'm just like, you know what? I'd rather be home. Plus, in the midst of all this, there is no going anywhere and doing anything. Those virtual shows to me, I can't imagine how that is, conducive or constructive for the person performing.
Yeah, I was watching Erica Rhodes.
Sure.
She was doing the one in New York, the virtual one in New York, and I was like, "This is how do you do that? Like how you don't? No one's laughing literally in front of you, except for maybe the door or whoever's working the place. I mean, I don't know.
The only thing I think you could genuinely do is your whatever material you already have. You know where the punchline is, so you know where to land. But B, I don't know, because the constructive nature of the back and forth, you can tell when certain things resonate at 100% with an audience versus 75, 80 and whatnot. So you try and, winnow those down. There's nothing worse though, when you write like your favorite punchline in it and it does the worst of the entire joke. Like, cause I'll write a joke and then I just try and keep writing and then you figure out, okay, what resonates. But when I roll out a joke, I'm literally trying to tag it with as much stuff as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And just seeing, you're throwing shit against the wall to see what sticks.
Right.
But yeah, there's been a few times where we're like, really, like stopping the joke when it's new in the middle and being like, really? Nothing on that? That's my favorite one. I actually laughed to myself. I remember specifically the joke I'm thinking of where I stopped. The audience liked it because they were on my side. But I told them going into it, I was like, let's try some new jokes. And if they suck, then you're the only people that'll ever see them.
Right.
And then you just start, doing it. But I always build up to, show them basically that I can fly this bird.
Yeah.
And then like, all right, let's see if we can, how we do through turbulence, guys. And then go that route. But yeah, I've stopped joking and be like, man, that was my favorite. Not even close. The rest of this is all shit to me. That was the gem and you guys don't like it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. Well, I thought I'd ask a little question about your, if you're interested, just because we've been watching a lot of them to kind of pass the time. I tried watching Russell Peters. That one doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
I tried.
He doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah, I tried. He's
a super nice guy.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Incredibly nice guy.
Everybody says that. Somebody mentioned Tom Segura. I haven't tried him.
Sure. Try. It just depends on what style of comedy that you like.
Yeah. I like self-deprecating comedy about your life. So I find that more interesting to me. We watched a couple of Australian ladies. I can't remember their names, but really funny, both of them. Okay. And I was surprised. And there was a couple of the Australian ones. We started like 5-10 minutes in. We're like, nah, this ain't for us.
Yeah,
but
that happens.
You just kind of figure it out as you test and what have you. But there's so many. Like, fuck. We went on Netflix and I was like, there's like 700 of these things on here. I had no idea.
And Netflix is tougher to get on.
Yeah. There's a lot of those things on there. Yeah, but Amazon has the most. I don't know how many. We didn't look for the Hulu, but Amazon has so many. You could be endless. You could just keep checking for the rest of your life. There's so many, and from various times. So
all over the years. It is utterly impressive. I could send you some where you're like, why was this shot? And then you watch it. Like there's one in particular that I'm thinking of. The guy's got all the energy in the world. And yes, technically those jokes are I understand why a crowd is laughing, but damned well that those are well-trod issues. And you just put out an hour of, boy, I've heard 57 versions of that fucking joke. He's doing them very well, but you have to know there's no way that you can build up that hour because that does take time.
Right. The
whole time and not realize, oh, hey, personally 3 comics that do this type of joke and 2 that do this type of joke, and then you're doing the same thing.
Right.
That's where it to me.
Did you watch
so many though that
you watch Chappelle's his most recent one? The
No,
846?
I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay. Okay.
I haven't been really in a phase of wanting to watch any as of late.
Gotcha.
But his last one was flat out excellent. I think we talked about it on the show.
We have. Yeah. The 846, I watched that one a couple times now. It's just like, it's such a quick watch because it's only like 25 minutes. But just what he goes into. But anyway, yeah, when you watch it, maybe we'll have a conversation about it.
Sure.
All right. Anything else going on in your world, man? Should we just jump into the show?
No, well, I mean, what about you? What about your world? What's going on with John? Or is it is that Outlaw Nation? You do that 3 days a week, right?
5 days a week, man.
Every day. 5 days a week.
Every day there's a show. Yeah, for sure, man. It's a lot. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. The views. Was that?
I said sure.
Yeah. The views are starting to go up. The likes are going up. People are joining the Patreon, more and more, and I'm doing more shows for them for the Patreon shows as well. Well, shows, but I'm putting them out on my main channel. But only Patreons can participate in the show, so it's kind of encouraged. So it's a lot of work, and I'm always doing stuff, and plus our podcasts and Cinephiles, and then other stuff that I do, just kind of balance the day. So yeah, there's a lot going on, trying to put it all together, and there's a potential opportunities popped up, and who knows, we'll see what happens with it. But overall, just keep my head down and plugging away. And then as we're recording this, we're about to go to Big Bear, so maybe we'll talk about that on the next show. That experience of being up there, because I think I've only been up there once. And we're going up there.
Big Bear.
You never been?
Nope.
Oh, wow. Yeah. We're going up for a few days. We got a cabin all to ourselves. And I think we might just unplug, and I'm not one of those people that does unplug, but all the stuff I've been doing, man, plus everything since January, just barreling through the last 6 months, might not be bad to take like 5 days, just kind of rarely look at the phone, hang out with my girlfriend, take walks, watch TV, lay around, do nothing, just nothing.
Sure. Yeah, I think we're going to try and do the same thing in a couple weeks.
Oh, right on.
Just to get the fuck out of Dodge, go up in the middle of remote somewhere, and just get away from people and everything for a few days. Yeah,
just for a few days.
Yeah, just for a few days. But hopefully, I'm sure Big Bear is beautiful this time of year. So
yeah, I've heard it's really nice. So we're looking forward to it. And her sister and her boyfriend are going to meet us up there on Friday. We're going up on Wednesday to kind of have a little bit of time to ourselves, and they'll be going up on Friday, and then we'll just hang out together. The rest of we're going to drive back on Sunday. So not for too long, but just long enough to get a little bit away from the city for a few days or a couple of days. So
for sure,
I'm happy about that. So it's a 3-hour drive. It ain't no easy drive up there. So
dude, that's nothing. 3 hours is nothing in the car.
All right. Look at you bragging. 3 hours is nothing.
3 hours is literally
I've done
nothing.
24, 62.
I technically have. I've done over a day's driving before.
Wow. In one spell, like in one.
Yeah,
me and stop off anywhere and go to sleep.
I think we might have slept in the car.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's happened.
Wow. No.
Yeah,
I think the farthest I've ever drove was 15 hours. That's the farthest I ever drove one time.
I mean, I drove here from Illinois when I first moved out here.
Right on.
So took a couple days.
I was going to say, how did 2 days? 2 days? Wow.
It's like 2.5 days, something like that. I stayed over 2 different places. And
nice.
Got here on the last day. Easy peasy. But yeah, enjoy your 3-hour drive in Big Bear, and it should be beautiful. And boy, my hair is really weird today.
You are obsessed. Why don't you put a hat on? Put a hat on.
Let's do this weird wave in the front. But the problem is it's so matted down with a bunch of junk.
Hair gel? Right on.
No, well, yeah, old hair gel, sleep. We've got some.
If you're going to do this the whole show, put the damn hat on. You're going to drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, it's all right. It's done.
All right. All right. We're also getting COVID tested tomorrow, for real.
You are?
Yeah, she hasn't been feeling well the last 4 days. She looked up the symptoms. She doesn't have a fever, but she looked up the symptoms, and they pretty much correlate to what she's feeling. So we set up a time to go get tested tomorrow just in case. And of course, you don't get test results for like a couple days, but we just want to find out. So we're going to take the test and then head on up. We'll do all the social distancing and put on our masks and everything, but you just want to find out what's happening. So we'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
Because everyone's fucking getting in California. So I want to make sure if we've got it, we should deal with it and get past it. I don't want to end up on a defibrillator or whatever that is, whatever they call those things. Ventilator.
A ventilator, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Not a defibrillator.
Well, I mean, you could end up ultimately needing a defibrillator.
I hope not. Fuck, I hope not.
Of course not.
Anyway, today's top 10 list is top 10 overrated best picture movies, and this is brought to you by one of our Boss Hog patrons. With movies not coming out, we are kind of more open to taking topic suggestions from our Boss Hog people, and so we thought we'd do another one a little more quickly than we normally do. So, what's this one we got here, Matt? Who's it from?
It's from Sam Fernando, so Giant Fernando.
Oh, nice. Giant.
But he goes by Sam, which I didn't know until he sent this email. So Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you for sending it. Yeah, I mean, it was one of those we were texting, hey, what do you want to do next week? You know what? We already have a list of category ideas over here. Why don't we just take advantage of the fact that we have that? And, give them back more to the Boss Hog people. It's a win-win for all involved. So we were happy to do it. We're doing most overrated Oscar, best picture winners, overrated movies.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned if this wasn't. So how did you look at it? Is the movie singularly overrated or overrated in conjunction with what came out that year?
Yeah, this was a difficult one for me because I was like, is it overrated because I don't like it or I like another movie more? Or is it overrated because, I think it's not that good of a film and shouldn't have won Best Picture? So for me, I went with films that have lost their luster over the years, so they've become overrated. And some overrated ones overall, but some other ones that have lost their luster over the years, and now I have no and now when I watch them, they're overrated. Like they got a lot of publicity, a lot of press when they came out, but now they're kind of overrated. And I went from, most overrated to kind of overrated. So that's the kind of process I went through in determining my list.
I mean, I have legitimately 4 to 5 movies kind of fighting out for that 10th spot.
Wow. 4 to 5? You think there's 4 to 5 ones that you think are overrated that you've seen
at that 10th spot? You know what I mean? Where once you look at the year, you're like, you can't tell me with a straight face all these years later that you still believe that this movie is better than this one.
Oh, I see. So you went with the better than. Okay.
All right. Well, no, for that lower, I don't know. It's like a fluid dynamic. By and large, I went for what I felt at the time and what I still feel.
Right.
It's opinion. So,
Yeah.
So one person could absolutely love it and they think it's a no-brainer for that year. And obviously I could come in and be like, really? Because it did zilch for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a fluid dynamic between those. And then it's trying to figure out some sort of idea as to fluidly define this.
Yeah. No, I get it.
So
okay.
Well, you ready to start?
Yeah. Go ahead. Do you want to tell them how the show starts, Matt?
Once we set a topic, or as Sam Fernando did in this case, we go our individual ways, create personal top 10 list. Show back up here. I do my bottom 3. He does his bottom 3. I do my next 2. He does his next 2. Then we trade one apiece. Once we have revealed our personal top 10 lists, we create the shows between the two of us.
Boom. All right.
And all right. So I wrote down 2 for 10.
Okay.
And it comes down to one that I've always felt was like, hey, really, this one versus the other one this is a clear no-brainer to me.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to go with, I probably catch some shit for this, but Dances with Wolves.
That's a punt.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Yep. All right.
So at 9 is Driving Miss Daisy.
Also a punt. Wow.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
8 for me is Green Book.
Also a punt. How the hell? Interesting. This is going to be a fun conversation. All right.
Wonder if I'm going to say punt 3 straight times. Okay, what's your number 10?
Number 10 is Platoon.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, didn't make my list.
Okay. Yeah, I think this movie is so overrated now in retrospect. And, it was so revolutionary about the Vietnam War, told from a guy who served in the Vietnam War and everything like that. But you watch this movie now, it doesn't hold up as strongly as it did before. And it's a bit overrated now when you look at it. And Charlie Sheen, we've seen what went on with Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger, Willem Dafoe. You still have that really touching scene when that happens. But overall, the film feels like now has lost any of its power. As you've seen more graphic, more brutal, more honest, more grittier explorations of war and what happens to young men in war since this film, it has kind of lost its luster for me, and I think it's a bit overrated. Now, when people talk about Platoon, I don't have anywhere near the same feeling about the movie as I did when I first watched it. And it's different, like Apocalypse Now, that's way earlier than Platoon, and yet that movie still, like when people say Apocalypse Now, I just go, oh, man, because it puts me right in the mindset of the war movie. Whereas Platoon, I go, oh, yeah, that was fun. That was cool. And I think a lot of Stone's movies don't hold up as strongly as they used to in the past. Because he just was a filmmaker for that time. But I think as we get further and further away from it, there's only a couple or three of them that people still kind of put their finger on and respect. And I don't know if Platoon is one of them anymore.
It's for you, JFK. I know some people just flat out love this movie.
I do love JFK.
I'm still a Natural Born Killers fan.
Yeah, a lot of people like Natural Born Killers.
But then after that, it's like, I like W.
Yeah, W was good. I think that's the last one he was good with. The last one he directed was good.
I think so, because he did a lot of documentaries.
Yes.
In the resulting decade.
Yeah.
Since W, but it's Oliver Stone is hit and miss. What, Born on the 4th of July?
Yeah, I never want to see that one.
Don't care for. Yeah, I never want to see that again. I've seen it twice, maybe 3 times, and I never want to see it again.
Yep, agreed.
And that's a hell of a reaction for a movie.
Yeah, right. When you're just like, especially a movie that's supposed to be as poignant as that movie was, you're just like, I don't want to go through that again. I'm good. Like, it's not kind of go through it because it's emotional. It's tough to go through like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This is more a matter of like, it's just like, it's okay.
I think I said this before on the show, but basically it's tearing the scab off of Vietnam War for society at that point, like seeing the collateral damage of it. But we didn't live through it. And I've seen enough Vietnam movies at this point. By the time I watched it, I was like, I'm good. I don't need to go through this, like, catharsis. It just doesn't need to happen for me.
It's true. Okay. So my number.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
So that's in that year, what would you take in its place?
Oh, I haven't even looked.
I've got it in front of me.
Okay, tell me.
Children of a Lesser God.
Okay.
Hannah and Her Sisters.
Okay.
The Mission.
Ooh.
And A Room with a View.
Okay, so it's between The Mission and Children of a Lesser God, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think you have to go with The Mission. It's just a more cinematic film with a fantastic score from Ennio Morricone. Great performance from Robert De Niro.
Sure.
And Jeremy Irons. But coming in second is Children of a Lesser God. I love that movie, and I will always love that movie. There's something about that unique romance in that movie that is portrayed in a way that isn't When Harry Met Sally. It isn't some kind of feel-good romance movie. It's a tough romance movie because she's deaf and she's fighting back against what she's experienced in her life. She's on this journey. He stays the same until the end, but she's on this journey to kind of embrace her life, embrace her power, embrace her self-worth. And he's more about like trying to control her and put her in this box, even though he claims to care about her. He can't handle the fact that she's on this journey. Like, he can't be patient with it. So the whole movie is that, and I really enjoy the film. It's not your standard romance movie in any way. It's like a Punch Drunk Love for the 80s, basically.
Okay.
But The Mission is so good. It's still,
I like The Mission.
Movie, right?
That's my choice for that year. It's like, all right, I would get rid of Platoon for The Mission.
Yeah.
What do you got at 9?
9 is Titanic.
Okay. Didn't make my list.
Okay. All right. Look, cinematically, this is a fantastic film, right? And when I saw it like 7 or 8 times in the theaters because I just marveled at what James could do with the camera and with just building it 9/10 the size of the actual Titanic, building a ship that's 9/10 the size so you could shoot on it and do everything like that. You got to admire the balls and the guts to spend that much money on a film. And with the possibility that you could absolutely, for lack of a better term, no pun intended, sink. You could really sink like Waterworld sank. And he made $1 billion off this damn movie. Incredible. But when you watch it now, it really feels dated. The dialogue is as terrible as you remember, if not worse. And the storylines don't carry the weight that they used to. The whole idea of running. Plus, now that we've embraced this idea of white privilege, when you're watching this movie, it really comes through now when you're watching it. Like, it's just kind of in that place. And so it doesn't carry the weight that it used to. It's still cinematically phenomenal. I mean, cinematography-wise and shooting with technical aspects of it all, incredible. but overall, the film has no emotional power anymore like it used to. And then the old lady gets annoying sometimes, to be honest with you now, in retrospect.
Well,
so
Paxton is kind of annoying to me, but
true, fair. Paxton does get annoying too.
It didn't even register for me for the one phrase that you said in there. If you watch it now, be like, I don't have really an opinion of it other than I've seen it and I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. It's fine.
Right.
I can tell you what your choice would have been that year.
Yeah, please tell me.
LA Confidential.
That's a great choice. What else was there in the list?
That Good Will Hunting.
Okay. No.
As Good as It Gets.
No.
And The Full Monty.
Yeah, the choice is
LA
correct.
Confidential.
Yeah, LA Confidential is the right answer here.
All right, what do you got next?
Yeah, it's a fascinating.
I'm sorry.
LA's good. Number 8 is American Beauty.
Oh, dude, that's a fucking punt. And a hard F on that, just so you know, as hard as it gets.
All right.
8. Utterly ridiculous.
I don't know how Driving Miss Daisy's down that low for you. So, all right, here we go.
Because I don't get it came down to I don't care about that movie as much, and then what was up against that year, I think are some good movies, but they're not like Pantheon level, so it's not as egregious.
Oh, I see. That factored into your number
a little bit, yeah. Just like the Replacements to me are, I like them more, but it's not like it's 10-1 type of thing.
Right, I can respect that. All right, what's your 7?
The Greatest Show on Earth.
Oh wow, you've seen that one,
dude? It's so boring.
Oh.
It's so I saw it as a kid, and it's one in an era where you already black and white, but still, I had seen some black and whites that I liked.
Yeah.
That had been shown that were fun, and this one's about a circus, so it should be a lot of fun. And I remember just like hating a movie just so viscerally. It's absolutely it's way too long. That's all I remember. It felt like it lasted 4 hours, and then I looked it up. I think it's like 230, 240.
Yep. It is not. It's not a short movie in any way, shape, or form, man.
And then it rates as 7 because High Noon came out that same year.
Oh, yeah.
Just and that was up for consideration. Be like, well, come on, guys. High Noon is an infinitely superior movie.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Absolutely.
So I just remember that as a kid watching it and just being like, man, fuck that movie. But I've never seen it since.
Man, fuck that movie.
Yeah. I didn't know those words as a kid, but that is... Had I known those words, that's exactly how I would express my frustration for having to. It felt like punishment, like I'm getting medicine.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't like this at all.
I remember watching it once way back when, because when you get into movies, you want to watch the ones that won Best Pictures, kind of see what the feeling of the film critic world was for that year. Mm-hmm. And I watched Greatest Show on Earth, and I'm like, what is this? Why is this even nominated? This is just a spectacle film with no real emotion between any of these characters.
Yeah, I think it gets nominated because it's Cecil B. DeMille, and it's Charlton Heston, and it's got a cast and it's got the pedigree.
What is Charlton Heston doing in a fucking circus movie?
What is Charlton Heston doing playing Moses?
That's fair.
I'm just saying, I don't know the description of other characters in the Bible exists, but I'm pretty sure we got a good handle on what Moses more than likely looked like.
It didn't look like Charlton Heston, that's for sure.
Probably not. But
my 10 Commandments. Anyway, I only seen it once, so I'm totally see the point to you, man. I mean, I would never have put myself through it again. Once was more than enough. Yeah,
no, it's the reason why I imagine your number 1 is going to be a specific one. Yeah. But I've never seen the crap movie.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So I couldn't make my list. I was like, well, I know it's going to be on his, so that's fine. We're going to talk about it. I've never seen it because everybody was like, it's so egregious a sin.
Yeah.
So, well, why waste my time?
You're not going to put yourself through it.
Yeah.
It makes sense. What's your 6?
My 6 is, this is not going to be on your list more than likely, which is The English Patient.
Yeah, it's not on my list. How dare you?
It's just so boring.
You're so insane.
It's so boring.
Oh, you're insane.
Dude, when Fargo comes out that year, Fargo is the clear winner. It's not even close to me. That's why it's 6. Fargo's far and away. English Patient is just this is interminable. It is. That's honestly, I'm so glad it's set, at certain times within the desert, because that's emotionally what I feel for this movie. is completely vacant. If love, caring, understanding, connection is humidity, gone. It's all gone, just like the desert, you know?
I love this movie. It's one of my favorites. You know that.
I know.
The romance is tragic. It's perfect. I think Ray Fiennes is never more. How can I say this correctly without getting my ass made fun of here? But I guess I'll just straight up say it. Ray Fiennes is absolutely gorgeous in this film, and I don't really, I don't really feel that way about dudes, right? But like he is, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is my own thing. But like he's just absolutely gorgeous in that movie, and so is she, Kristen Scott Thomas. That's the hottest she's ever been in any film, and so their chemistry, their sexual chemistry, is so combustible and so electric throughout the movie that's what keeps me going. And then of course you have oh my gosh, what's wrong with my brain? What's her Juliette Binoche? You have Juliette Binoche doing what she's doing, trying to keep him alive, and then Willem Dafoe. And it's a tragic situation for her too, having lost her friend at the beginning of that movie. And what happens, and then her having to take care of this guy, and then realizing what this guy actually did, and all of that, and then what she has to go through at the end. And then of course you got a homie from Lost. He's in there as well. So I like the movie. It does take its time. It's certainly a slow movie. I kind of like desert movies anyway, so it's just that kind of thing for me. It checked all the buttons, but I do know a lot of people. I mean, Seinfeld did a whole episode about how boring English Patient is.
Yeah, Elaine. They used Elaine as the focus of that. I was in agreement, having seen it at the time. I was like, yes, it's utterly boring. This is so dull. Why? Like, I agree. Ray Fiennes. It's one of those when you see it and be like, I get that. I understand that.
Yeah,
like, that's charm. That is pure. He is exuding every Cary Grant type of swagger. He's got it in this movie, just like George Clooney can do sometimes. Like George Clooney's already good looking, but because he has that inherent charm within him, like it's undeniable. There are aspects of it. It's beautifully shot.
It is.
It looks it's sumptuous to take in, but bored out of my freaking mind. Whereas Fargo, I owned for 15 years, 2 different copies. I've watched numerous times. I'm a huge Coen fan. Yeah, I love Fargo, man. Now of the Coens, I go back to others because that one is one of the, if not most uncomfortable of their films.
Right. I'm not the biggest fan of Fargo. I like the TV series more than the movie, to be honest with you. But
I will agree with that. The TV series is absolutely excellent.
It is.
And I can't wait for the next one because it's a brand new story and somehow they're 3 for 3.
Yeah. Do you think Jeffrey Rush should have won for Shine for that year?
Who was up against him? Because he was great in Shine.
Yeah, he was good in Shine. Billy Bob Thornton for Sling Blade.
He never had a chance.
Tom Cruise for Jerry Maguire.
No.
Woody Harrelson for The People versus Larry Flint.
I think Jeffrey Rush did more, although he was great as Larry Flint. He was absolutely excellent as Larry Flint.
Yeah, and then Ray Fiennes in The English Patient. I think that's the fight. Ray Fiennes or Jeffrey Rush?
Yeah, I would take Jeffrey Rush. I mean, personally, that role was so difficult to do, and then I would take Woody Harrelson's over his as well.
Wow. Over Ray Fiennes. Ray Fiennes got to act in that full body makeup, man. Are you crazy? That's tough.
That's fine.
Oh, he's just got to sit in a wheelchair and talk like this to hold. That's not that difficult.
He made what we knew as a one-dimensional smut peddler into a fully formed character that you can identify with, understand. Like that is really impressive to do. He's existed in all of our brains one way, and now suddenly he is utterly and completely different.
I've always fought against Jeffrey Rush winning although he deserved it. Yes, you could argue deserved, but he didn't play it the whole movie. Like you had the kid version, then you had the teenage version, and the 20-year-old version.
Okay.
So that's my thing. Whereas Ray Fay played both himself and then himself after he was burned up in the fire. So it's like both those things. I mean, it's a more Herculean effort, in my opinion. But whatever. They went with the sweetheart of a choice in Jeffrey Rush. But at least the film won Best Picture, so that's all that matters. And
you win some, you lose some.
Welcome to life. I don't know.
What do you get next?
Yeah, all right. Let's move on.
I'm sorry, what do you got?
I think you've got it, right? 6? Is that what your 6 is?
No, that was my, that was mine.
So then my number 7 is Argo.
That's a punt. Not by much, but it is a punt.
I'm surprised it's on your list. I like that. All right, then 6 is what I punted from earlier, or what we punted from earlier with Dancing with the Wolves.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, go ahead, please.
No. Go ahead, man.
I was just going to say that it's only a 10 because there are specific scenes within it that still have magic for me.
Oh, okay.
They do spark, and you're like, damn it! If the movie could have been more of this to me, I think it would never have even like come close to sniffing this list. But it's when he joins the tribe and the slow integration process, and it just the movie is going one direction, and then it just hits a glacial pace going the other. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I enjoyed it. I thought it was, deserving of getting the best picture. But in hindsight, it's Goodfellas all the way. It's not even close.
Oh yeah, I mean, 1,000%. For whatever reason I have with the end of that movie, or issue I have at the end of that movie, no way is Goodfellas not better than Dance with Wolves. It totally is. And Dance with Wolves, I mean, like now it's a simple story. It's it's told so easily, so simply. This idea of this white dude integrating himself into this Native American tribe, and of course there has to be another white woman who is taken by this tribe.
Yes.
So that's the one he ends up hooking up with. Can't be no Native American woman. It's got to be the white woman. Can't be having no interracial relationship in this shit. And then you get his process of, what's the word I want to look for? Ingratiating himself with the tribe and doing all this kind of stuff.
Trading, like letting the one guy keep his hat because he found his hat on the battlefield and stuff like that.
So simple. It's so easy. It doesn't really carry the weight that it should. You don't really go in depth or explore the complexity of what's happening here as much as you would nowadays. And I think the opening scene is great. I mean, him riding amongst the cannons and the muskets or the rifles, rather, like
tries to commit suicide.
Yeah, surrendering himself because he's gone crazy from having to be in this war. Is incredible. And then from where it goes, unfortunately, it just becomes like kind of a Lifetime movie for the rest of the movie, and too feel good for me overall.
I mean, like the scene you brought up with the hat. Yeah, and that to me was like, okay, I love this to see their dynamic and growth. Yeah, between the two of them and how he gains his respect to understanding the culture and whatnot. And like the first time he does Tatanka, and he can relate, and he's just been so isolated like that. I find fascinating within it. Right. So it still can do that, whereas something like English Patient, it just Z's across my eyes.
How dare you?
From the opening scene straight through to the end. So I agree with you. It deserves to be on this list. I think it should be lower.
Well, well, I put it higher because it's more overrated in my opinion, not lesser overrated. That's how I did it. So it's way people still revere that movie and talk about that movie. It drives me insane how much they enjoy that movie. It's such a pedantic approach to this situation, which could have been way more readily explored. That's my 6. All right, we'll take a quick break.
Yep.
Go ahead, man.
Word from our sponsor. We'll see you guys back here in just a second.
All right, cool. There we go. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We're just humming along here. All right, where are we at?
My number 5.
Okay, what is your number 5?
Which is The Hurt Locker.
Wow.
I saw it in the theater.
I know she got stones. Wow. Okay.
Oh no, I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was good. I understand why this should be amongst potentially the discussion, but having one, I was like, that's not a best picture, and we all fucking know it. I mean, it's up against, in my eyes, District 9 or Up in the Air.
Yeah, I think you go District 9 in that conversation. Although Up in the Air, it's a little too small, which is why I don't give it to. But I could see people making a case for it.
Oh, District 9, at least there's so many different layers to it.
Yeah.
And, it's a discussion about this, but it's also an allegory for this situation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Whereas if I'm going to go through the, I guess, travails of a bomb squad in the Middle East, I don't know. At the time, I felt like I had seen that movie very recently because there was a bunch of movies about, the Gulf War and et cetera that had come out. Yeah. So it wasn't so huge and revelatory. It suffers to me from the same thing that Platoon does. Well, there's also Hamburger Hill and there's this and there's this. And it's like, I saw them all at the same time. Yeah. So they're all like the Vietnam movies to me. So The Hurt Locker wasn't so amazingly better than a bunch of the others. Like it's better than Jarhead. Sure.
Yeah. Well, I guess.
I prefer Three Kings, even though that's not the same dramatic.
Oh yeah,
level.
Three Kings is great.
Yeah, but that to me is a better, story about that war. So Hurt Locker was always like, this is fine, but how is this so exceptional within this subgenre?
Yeah.
And then it won. I remember watching it when they all got on stage, and it was like, wow, what a weird year, because I don't think anybody's going to look back at this at the time thinking that this was like a solid year for movies if this won, in my opinion. It's not a shitty film. It's just not Pantheon level.
I agree. I mean, it's not. And a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people who have served in the military don't like it. A lot of people who served in the military do like it. It just kind of like runs that gamut, and I remember it being such a interesting film because it was talking about what happens, this idea that we're seeing it even in the Gulf War or in the Iraq War. They said people coming back.
Yeah, PTSD.
PTSD, and then wanting to run back. They have no idea how to function in the world and what have you, and they need that adrenaline rush. They need that adrenaline rush to stay alive, and but the thing is, it's not a movie I ever put on. It's not a movie I ever have any interest in putting on. And I guess that's why I don't know anybody who really does. So maybe that's why I didn't make my list in terms of overrated, because I'm like, no one I know is rates it highly. So I think Zero Dark 30 is a way better movie than The Hurt Locker if we're talking about Catherine Bigelow directed films about war. I think that's a way better film.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah.
Which may come into factoring in on a certain movie that we punted from.
That's true.
But yeah,
okay.
So yeah, I don't know. I just, when you look at it and be like, wow, this to me is a vastly superior film. And I knew District 9 that year didn't have a shot, but it's one of those of, Parasite actually had a shot. But if Parasite was in the same time frame as this, my guess is it had no shot type of thing.
Right.
So District 9 was a South African film. So, we reward American films here type of thing, unofficially.
The African.
Yeah, maybe a British film, but we're very selective as to what we include. And so anyway.
That's a good point. All right, then my number 5 is Driving Miss Daisy. That was the punt. Okay. Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, it's not higher because I like Morgan Freeman as an actor. And of course, Jessica Tandy's a sweetheart of an actor as well. Can't deny that. Just the film is like so fucking outdated, so wrong, and how it approaches race relations and how it approaches racism in the South and how it's all this kumbaya stuff that you just are so tired of seeing in movies. And I hope we're done with it once and for all. Like, I hope I never see another one of these Lifetime feel-good movies about racism, because it doesn't exist. All right. It's a tough situation. It's a tough issue. It's tough conflict. And yes, people do change. People do convert, but it isn't because they just became friends with a black person. It's because there's more to it than that. And they explore more. What? They confront.
That's how it happened in my life. The movie, the magical older black character, older black guy.
Yeah.
Happened to me, and it changed my life. I was out on the 17th green, and this apparitional like individual came walking up in a nice southern drawl. It worked, man. It worked.
That film, Bagger Vance, that piece.
Legend of Bagger Vance. What
they call it, the magical Negro. That's what he said.
Magical Negro.
Mm-hmm. That's the theory. Oh, ridiculous. But this movie, same thing, right? Jessica Tandy's, grumpy old racist, blah, 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 and realizes, slowly but surely she starts to defend the black dude, and it's like, and again, Morgan delivers a very nice performance, certainly a very touching performance, a tender performance. He's an incredible actor. Why wouldn't he? And even sometimes the scenes, when you watch them, you can actually be moved by them because of the work that's going on between the actors. But overall, the message is terrible. Overall, the story is ridiculous. And Dan Aykroyd is completely miscast. And you just watch this movie like, how the hell did this thing win Best Picture? What else was going on? I think Do the Right Thing is the same year, isn't it?
It could be. I might have missed it, but I know My Left Foot and Field of Dreams are.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The thing is, do you consider Field of Dreams an Oscar-winning type film? It's an excellent movie.
I can make a case for it over Driving Miss Daisy. That's for sure.
I'm trying. There it is. Born on the 4th of July. No.
Oh.
Dead Poet Society. For me, no.
Okay.
So then Field of Dreams and My Left Foot.
I can make a case for Dead Poet Society.
Okay, well, but have fun with that.
But I would slide into I would slide into the Field of Dreams category. Yes, man, it was that weak of a year for what year was that movie?
Exactly. So I mean, look, that's why it's 9. It's like it's a weird fucking year for me.
Yeah,
I love Field of Dreams, but
Henry V was that year. Henry V should have won fucking Best Picture. Holy shit! Do the Right Thing is that year, dude. Do the Right Thing wasn't even nominated.
Yeah, it's not. I've just got the nominated and winner in front of me.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the nominees here. Spike Lee was nominated for Best Screenplay, but not Best Director. Brana was nominated for Best Director, but his film wasn't nominated for Best Picture. Fucking crazy. Just crazy. Yeah, there's 3 already that deserved it. I'd put Do the Right Thing. When Harry Met Sally is that year. I would put When Harry Met Sally top of the list. Or maybe no, I guess Do the Right Thing top of the list. Then When Harry Met Sally, Field of Dreams, Henry V. Whew. Yeah, I'm getting angrier as I look at this list.
Of the nominated, it's like, I guess Field of Dreams. My Left Foot is a great movie, but I've seen it, and I don't know if I'll go back and rewatch it, even though, who isn't a huge Daniel Day-Lewis fan?
Right, exactly.
But I'll watch 3 or 4 of his others and be, Phantom Thread, There Will Be Blood. It's like you can make a list of all kinds of other movies that just like, that's where I want. Lincoln, I'll take that.
Would you end friendship with a guy who didn't like Daniel Day-Lewis? Would you be like, yeah, we can't be friends? Like, this guy is really important to my life.
I mean, it seems like your friendship was tenuous already. So you were looking for an excuse. I mean, if you're willing to excise someone for your life because they don't like an actor, you either have too many friends or you don't have any, and you've just created excuses to get rid of those friends for shit like this. So
I don't really care for Daniel Day-Lewis.
That's fine.
What did you say?
Exactly. And she's like, you get the fuck out of here right now.
Get out of here.
I'm pulling this car over.
Take your terrible taste.
I would happily go, really? Okay, well, I'm just going to Uber something, psycho. And we never hang out again. That's fine with me. If this is a deal breaker for our friendship over something as innocuous as this, I don't care for these specific movies, is what you're saying. Like their soul shattered over it. If you're not Daniel Day-Lewis's mom, I don't think you can rightfully.
That's fair. That's actually fair.
That. Yeah. Maybe a spouse. I don't know. It's a small list.
He's my actor, damn it. Yeah. All right. So where were we? Oh yeah. Driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah, that was your 5.
Oh, yeah, it's my 5. Yes.
All right. So my 4 is Argo.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about it.
I think the only truly magical parts are the Goodman Alan Arkin. And then outside of that, it's a by the numbers type of movie to me. I'm not blown away by it at all.
Yeah.
And then every time it flashes back to Hollywood and just seeing the two of them, it's like, there's the fun of the movie. And then we go back to this, they're stuck in the Canadian embassy. I don't really care. Everybody's getting on each other's nerves. Like, of course they are. I don't care.
Ben's work. Ben has a shirtless scene. Do you really need to see Ben Affleck doing push-ups in this hotel room? Ridiculous.
Yeah. And that year it's up against Zero Dark, Lincoln, and Django Unchained. Those are 3 vastly superior movies to me. Now, I understand your faults and others with Lincoln, so be it. It resonates with me on a different plane, I guess. Oh. But they're all so vastly superior to Argo. It's not even close to me.
Yeah. I don't recall the last time I wanted to ever watch Argo.
Saw in the theater. I'm never going to see it again.
Yeah. But Zero Dark 30 I've owned as a Blu-ray and as a 4K.
I watched it 2 weeks ago. Yeah,
it's such a good movie. Mm-hmm. Jessica Chastain delivers. I mean, she's still living off that movie. No offense to Jessica Chastain. She's done some other great.
I liked Molly's Game.
Oh, yeah, Molly's Game is good. But that character is what you want to see. What she does in Zero Dark 30, you want to see that in every movie. You love her in that role.
Yeah.
It's so good. And I was shocked when they said Argo. Just shocked. Because it is such a blatantly manipulative film. To try to get you into a frame of mind about this situation. And the fact that Ben Affleck cast himself in the role when he didn't really have to do that. It's a Latino role. Find yourself a Latino actor. And don't give me this crap they couldn't fund the film without Ben Affleck. He's fucking directing it. So you can certainly fund it with Ben Affleck directing it. Just go get a Latino actor. I mean, I think Oscar Isaac would have killed that role if he'd been around or known at that time to do it. But which he might have been, because I think Robin Hood was around that time. So certainly Oscar Isaac was walking around Hollywood.
But you need, if you have another, because it's by and large actors of no huge name. I mean, you got Goodman and Arkin, but they're in small roles. So you kind of need a name to carry that, to get it the recognition it would need to get Oscars. But Oscar Isaac now, yes.
Yeah, true. I mean, this is 2012, right? So the budget was 44.5. It's not cheap. That's not cheap, 44.5.
But I'm sure Affleck took a discount because he's also directing and he's starring. You know what I mean? Like, this is his project. Yeah, his so tack on another 8 million or something to the budget is what they would have needed to get somebody of some, I don't know who. At that level. But yeah, it's like when that one, just staring once again at the stage going, I can't believe, of all the movies, like when they take off in Iran and they're 200 feet in the air and the pilot, bing, we're now, you can take your seatbelts and essence off, and everybody erupts into cheers as if they'd gotten away with the caper. Like, you need to cross the border first, because technically they can still scramble jets and force you to land whenever they want. Like, I was already fed up with, this. I knew that you could tell exactly what this movie was trying to be. Oscar bait all the way. And then it gets to this triumphant sports-like movie ending-ish. And just like, no, I'm not buying into this. Take me back to Hollywood. That was fun.
Yeah, I agree with you. Every scene with Arkin and Goodman is an absolute joy to watch. Everything outside of that is just like kind of a chore. Even though there's some good actors, Scoot McNairy in this thing, Carrie Boucher, who's of course in both of them in *Halt and Catch Fire*.
The guy Slater from *Dazed and Confused*.
Right. Rory Cochrane. Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Also in the Johnny Depp, Whitey Bulger, Black Mass. Thank you.
It's so good, Black Mass. That guy.
He is. He's a good actor, but he's always, oh shit, there's Slater.
Yeah. He have to kill his girlfriend. Oh man, that scene is terrible.
And that he knows it's got to be done too.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that scene was just like rough.
I wish that movie was better as a whole, because his performance, and then I loved his interaction with, you say the gentleman's name was Rory
Cochrane. Yeah.
Rory Cochrane. Yeah, the two of them had a great dynamic.
They do.
Like Benedict Cumberbatch's accent is fucking strange.
So weird, man.
And I don't know. Aspects of it don't work as well. But then you see him as Whitey Bulger, and you're like, Jesus, that looks like the devil.
It really does.
It really does, man. It looks like you remember the flat top from Dick Tracy?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
If he didn't have the curly hair on the side, but his head, Whitey Bulger's head in this movie, and Johnny Depp, looks so kind of, I don't know, it's such a weird shape. More devilish.
Rubbing him out, Tracy. All right, so where are we at?
That was my 4, Argo.
Okay.
What do you got?
Okay, so my 4. I mean, I'm nervous about saying it because people are going to lose their fucking minds, but I got to put Annie Hall here at 4.
Okay.
I was going to put The Artist, but I'm like, nobody rates that movie, so it can't be overrated. But Annie Hall is my choice here, and I was going back and forth about it, but I think it's the right choice for me. I don't think I ever want to see that movie again. I don't think it's that big of a deal anymore. Okay. I think with all the stuff that's going on with him, even more so, then you see the traits that he has in all these movies where he's like the nebbish guy always seducing the intelligent woman or the young woman. And you're just like, some of the dialogue, it was cute back then, but now when you watch it, it's like, oh, look, I'm trying to make myself the center of the center of the world, the center of the attention. And you're watching it, it's like, this doesn't work for me anymore. There are some funny moments, certainly when he's a kid and he's remembering being a kid, being with the psychiatrist, and his mom's there, and he's like talking about how expanding the world, like how the universe is expanding. So what's the point of him doing his homework? Because we're all going to die someday. And his mom goes, what business is that of yours? Do your homework, do your math. That's funny stuff. But I mean, the rest of the movie doesn't work as strongly as it used to. And it's weird to watch. So I don't know. Now, because I tried to watch it again the other day, I watched about an hour of it. And I was just like, man, I just don't like the way I feel watching this anymore. I just don't. And it's a shame because I used to like Woody Allen a lot. So I just don't have the same vibe to it. So I think it's overrated. I don't think it holds up anymore like some of his other stuff can hold up. Like Crimes and Misdemeanors holds up. Hannah and Her Sisters is really good. I'll even defend Purple Rose of Cairo. But I just can't do Annie Hall. I don't know about you, but it's just not my thing.
I've never seen any really of Woody Allen's films.
Oh, wow.
It's one of those things of it's always been something I'm missing. And it's kind of because by the time I started watching movies to the caliber, watching them all the time type of thing.
Yeah.
He already had like a body of work. So it felt like, okay, once I start one, then I'm just going to barrel through all of them. And I never started it and I don't really care.
Okay. Fair. That's fair. Yeah. Okay.
And then, and also at the same time, the relationship with his now wife.
Yeah.
Like when I'm starting to watch movies, that was all coming out. So I was de-incentivized to kind of get into his movies.
Totally, man. Totally.
So I've seen bits and pieces like Purple Rose Cairo when it comes out of the screen.
Yeah.
And I've seen, I've seen bits and like a little clip here and like, oh, here's a little funny scene. And then the one where he's overthrowing the banana dictatorship.
Yeah. Bananas.
Yeah. Or Banana Republic rather.
Yeah.
I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never sat down to watch. Now, my question to you is, so I've got it in front of me.
Okay.
Nominated that year.
Okay.
The Goodbye Girl.
Okay.
Julia.
Okay.
Star Wars.
Okay.
The Turning Point.
Yeah. That's not a good year for movies. No offense to anybody who still reviews those movies.
Except
for Star Wars. That's the choice.
The choice.
Yeah. What year is that again?
That is
77?
1977.
Yeah, 77.
The 50th anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was the year in movie. The year after, you've got some killers. The year after that, you've got some killers. The year before that is a bloodbath.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you got Rocky, All the President's Men, Network, plus Taxi Driver, and Bound for Glory. Just like, Jesus Christ, there's so many good ones that year.
Here's the deal. Annie Hall wins Best Picture that year. Here's some films that were not nominated for Best Picture. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, same year, not nominated Best Picture. Saturday Night Fever, goddamn good movie, not nominated for Best Picture.
I don't know if it deserved to be nominated for the Best Picture.
Come on, guy. Oh God, come on. Oh God's a funny movie.
Yeah, but Best Picture winner?
I feel like you're being mean to these pictures, man. Come on.
I think it's just a really weak year for movies.
Pete's Dragon?
Yeah, sure. Is Pete's Dragon better than Pippi Longstocking? Yes. Of the Disney live action canon that came out roughly around that time? Yes, it's not even close to me. Is Pete's Dragon a good movie? Not really.
The Spy Who Loved Me?
Yeah, it's a weak year.
Oh, man. The Deeps this year.
I'm still taking Star Wars, and it's not like
I take Star Wars.
Yeah, and Star Wars is good, but Best Picture, it doesn't fit the normal narrative or normal definition. There's nothing wrong with that, but it just I don't know, doesn't seem like a Best Picture winner to me.
I mean, Smokey and the Bandit wasn't nominated. Slapshot. Come on, Matt. Slapshot, you got to give it over. Slapshot.
Slapshot, to me, obviously better than Annie Hall, but it's better than everything but Star Wars that was nominated.
Yeah, Star Wars is certainly number one, but you can argue Slapshot number two. Boy, this is a tough year for movies, man. No lie. Wow. I remember The Goodbye Girl. Yeah, man. The Gauntlet. That's the what's his face's film? Clint Eastwood. Yeah, this is a tough year, buddy.
Yeah.
It's a tough year. A Bridge Too Far. It's a war film. All right. Let's move it on before we get lost in this shit.
So that was your 4?
Yeah, it's my 4. Sorry. Yes, go ahead.
So my 3 is going to get condemnation from you.
Ooh.
Which is Shakespeare in Love.
Oh, you're an idiot. You're a goddamn idiot.
Look,
you know what? We can't be friends.
That's it? You're pulling the car over?
It was tenuous at best. And now it's over.
Son of a bitch.
You had to put it that high on purpose. You were looking for a reaction and you got one. So congratulations.
No, because it pissed me off that year. And that's a rarity. But when you're watching it going, I can't believe that movie won over this one, which is seminal. This is a seminal war movie just for the D-Day rollout alone.
God.
It is.
Okay.
every person that went through it that saw that, it said that is the closest approximation that I've ever seen. I didn't think anyone would even get that close. And then I've seen previous interviews on like YouTube and stuff of other soldiers talking about that and then trying to figure out what the reality of the situation was. Night and like, wow, so this is, just breaking down what this would have felt like to someone. And then you have Shakespeare in Love.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's fine. That's the best I can say about it.
It's a good movie. You're insane.
She wins for Best Actress, and I think that is ridiculous.
That I agree with. It should have been Cate Blanchett. I don't disagree with you there.
And
that's a Weinstein situation, which maybe someday we'll find out about, in my opinion.
Was that Blanchett for Elizabeth?
Yeah. She should have totally won for Elizabeth.
Dude, I watched that. I didn't enjoy it.
Did you enjoy her, though? The movie itself is not that good. She's good.
She's good, but it was hard for me to connect because I couldn't connect. And this is something that I love. This is everything right up my alley. Like bringing back history to life as best you can, the closest approximation. I'm all in. So I was excited to watch this because I remember way back when we did historical figures with Rachel and you both gushed about this movie. And I was like, it's one of those, it's a blind spot. I know I need to see it. So I eventually watched it and I was like, man, I wanted to love it. And I walked, once it ended, I streamed it. I was like, this
wasn't your jam.
I just wanted anything else than what I saw. She was good, but I was so disconnected from the movie as a whole.
Do you think Paltrow did better?
No, but that's not saying much in the context of what Blanchett had to do was harder to me.
Yes.
So even pulling it off in an unsuccessful movie is better than a movie that succeeds when I don't care type of thing. Okay. But yeah, it's 3. When you have Saving Private Ryan, to me, it's just so egregious. I literally got upset watching it that year of like, listen, we all like movies. It's why we tune into this shit. It's why you make them. It's why you've captured the imagination of generations of people. And I'll be damned if we can all agree that that was the best movie this year. And you guys are fucking out of your minds. And I was upset. And clearly. I pulled the car over on fans of that movie and told them to get the fuck out.
Wow. Strong statements, man. Strong statements. I love that movie. Watched it again maybe a few weeks ago. Still moves me from beginning to end, man. Just does so much. I'm a Shakespeare guy, and I was, having a relationship at the time with someone who I was seeing, and it just kind of clicked for both of us, man. Always clicked. We went to see it one night. It was just magical, dude. So the nostalgia of that movie will never lose its effect on me. So that's why I enjoy the movie. And I think it's really well written. I think it's funny. And if you're into that stuff, but like I said, I'm a Shakespeare person. Like I even like the Brano film that just came out, All Is True, where he plays William Shakespeare. It's a damn good small little movie. I really enjoyed that. So you have to go really far to fuck up a Shakespeare thing for me. And I just enjoy the film top to bottom. And, I'm not the biggest fan of Saving Private Ryan. But, I think my opinion on that is changing, to be honest with you, as I get older and kind of embrace more of what's going on in that movie. I find that I enjoy it more. But in the end,
you're like the Grinch. Are we watching your heart grow? Just right before very hot. Look at that. He can resonate with the selfless act that these men are trying to do and why Tom Hanks understands the importance of this. And he has to relay that to them and understand that the sacrifice in this instance is justifiable. And then the transition of tell me that I'm a good man. One tear. The first time I saw it, single tear. Fuck you, Spielberg, is what I said to myself.
It's a little cheesy to me.
Oh,
it never was.
So good.
For me, it never does. When they transition and he's the old man, I'm like, okay.
And he's just trembling before his wife, and she didn't live this, so she can't. So she just wants to calm him down. Like, where did this come from? What is this about? But you can't express that type of emotion. You can't give a backstory, and she'll never understand. So you just have to be like, please, just tell me. Fuck, man, so good.
Yeah, but then he's the guy. He ends up being the guy who walks out of his house with the machine gun, to aim at the protesters. That's the problem. He ends up being that guy instead of.
How dare you? That dude is his picture and his wife. They both look crazy in the eyes.
They do, right? I like her holding it like she's watching some 70s show.
I know. But it also, they could look perfectly normal in other pictures, and we just aren't getting tweeted those type of thing.
Well, apparently the St. Louis magazine, STL Mag, did a profile on them renovating their house to make it look like old school. And it's an interesting read, to say the least. And look, to be fair about that story, they did walk through a gated community, and they were walking on those, and gated community is just established because some people decide to put up a wall between one piece of the sidewalk and another piece of the sidewalk, and you're supposed to adhere to that social contract that if I walk on here, I'm walking on private property, So, but people were like posting, videos that showed them walking, but they didn't do anything. They're just marching through the neighborhood. That's it. It's no big deal. Yeah. They weren't running up to the houses and setting shit on fire. That's the thing that's ridiculous to me. So yeah, but yeah, maybe maybe Ryan ends up, kind of becoming one of those people. You never know, dude. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out.
I know, and they had all the right in the world to do that. They could defend their property if they feel that they're under attack. It's the pointing the gun. That's where, if you were just standing there showing the force, like, that's menacing, and I understand your point, and people may, take offense with that. Understandable, but at the same time, they're exercising their rights. Just when you're waving your gun around, from the pictures I saw, like, you can tell. It's not like it's professionally being held and kind of. Yeah, so I don't know. It's a weird story, but I also have only skimmed the surface of it and seen some pictures, read some tweets, clicked on an article and began to read it, and then moved on, because it's emblematic of a lot of stories that there's too many to know. That's the one downside of seeing all of it. It makes you numb to, at least me, to a lot of it.
No, you're right. I mean, my girlfriend won't watch any of this shit now because she's just so numb to it. She's like, there's nothing new here. I've seen different versions 5 million times. There's nothing new here. So yeah.
Yeah. Like the golf cart thing.
Yeah.
But contextually, we don't know, like, what if, and I'm not advocating for the guy because, it's fucking gross. But what if, like, 10 people before was mocking him, like, going, what power? And so he just did it back at them, but we only caught the camera 15 seconds later when it's recording. He's like, oh yeah, what power? Like, back at him just to be an ass to the asshole. Like, I don't know. I don't know. But if he just said it unprovoked, to be like, wow, that's ballsy. Good for you for just not giving a fuck at the end of your life.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. So it's like, whatever, I'll be dead in 10 years. So fuck you. And you're like, all right, man. I don't know. Yeah. I was numb to it. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to see another video of something else.
Yeah. Something else going to take your mind off of this thing. Yeah, it's true.
And then it's just like, here's this thing. Yeah. Just like, fuck, man. I know, you can just start doing Mad Libs at some point, just putting up, they, threw X at, this group Y, and come up with all kinds of offensive things. And if this plays out long enough, you're like, well, there's a good chance we'd be playing race card bingo. Yeah. Just like, I spelled it. Let's go. What's my prize? Oh, look at that. Flaming democracy. Fantastic.
Perfect. Love it.
Exactly. Anarchy. Awesome. All right. Hey, no matter who wins, we all lose. It's finally come true. Alien versus Predator.
Dun. Yeah. All right. Where are we at? My 3?
I don't know. I think we're at the boiling down of society right now. Is where I think we're at. But we could be at your number 3. Yes. Go ahead.
Green Book, which is your pun from earlier.
Okay.
Oh man, I can't hate a movie more. I don't think I mean, I guess there's 2 more I can hate more, but like this one this one had no business winning Best Picture. Absolutely zero business winning Best Picture. It is so, I mean, if you think Driving Miss Daisy is a Lifetime movie about racism, we have progressed 30 years since that movie, and still we're pumping out this drivel that was this movie. Oh my God, of course, the magical Negro once again helps him write love letters to his wife. It's just like, it's so fucking stupid and ridiculous. And the whole idea that, it's the white dude teaching him how to eat fried chicken. You're just like, what is happening here? And the fact that the script was written by the dude's son, the white dude's son, and that the African-American gentleman's family had just
disavowed it.
Yeah, it's about the movie. Completely said it was all complete horseshit. Wasn't true at all. That most of those events never even happened, and that he was very revered wherever he went. He didn't get into too much of those situations, and that what's his face was a full-on racist. And so it's like this is just watered down bullshit family history. Some dude wrote to feel good about his father, and by some damn miracle, it won Best Picture, and it has no business winning Best Picture. It's such a ridiculous film, man. Trying to see, because I think it's the same year as
Well, you got Black
Villeneuve
Klansman.
Film. Yeah. Okay.
Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Roma, A Star Is Born, and Vice.
Wow.
Now there are only 2 that I think had a shot, but really, well, Roma I think was the odds-on favorite that year.
Okay.
Outside of Green Book.
Oh, okay, you're right. Hold on, let me see. What is that? 2017, 2019? What is?
It's
oh yeah,
2018.
Okay.
2018.
Sorry. Yeah, The Favorite is a better film than Green Book.
I like The Favorite more than Green Book. Black Klansman I like better.
Yeah, I'll take Black Klansman. I'll even take Black Panther to a degree.
Yeah. I don't think it's Oscar worthy.
Right. I didn't like Vice. Man, I was so surprised, Matt, how much I didn't like Vice.
I like it and don't. There are very specific moments that when he does the cutaways work so successfully in The Big Short. Here, I think it pulls you out of the story. They're trying
it does.
Yeah, the point where there's like, and they do that scroll and be like, and you know what? Dick Cheney changed all his ways and lived happily ever after. And they're walking up that hill with the dog, and it's like this, this perfect family moment. And be like, of course he didn't. And it's like, we knew he didn't. Big Short, it's revelatory every time you do it. This one, it's just like, Dick Cheney's still alive. We lived through this. This isn't, yeah.
I even enjoyed Can You Ever Forgive Me more than I enjoyed Green Book.
Yeah, I like that, but
Melissa McCarthy and
Star Is Born, I think Green Book is a more successful movie in that Star Is Born. I'm like, why is this character doing this? I have that moment 2 or 3 times within it, whereas Green Book, that never really happens.
Yeah.
And Bohemian Rhapsody, I don't think should be nominated. It's not even close to sniffing this for me.
I agree. They had no business being nominated. Did you see If Beale Street Could Talk? I never saw that. Maybe that one should have been nominated. I never saw
it was
that.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at this list of things, and absolutely. So to me, I mean, overall, it had no business being nominated, let alone winning. I was shocked when it won. I was mad when it won. And, we do that they did that FYC show over at Collider. It's all 3 white critics, and all 3 of the white critics were celebrating the Green Book won. I was like, what? Do you understand the message you're sending by jumping up and down and being all celebratory about a bullshit movie about racism that is so kumbaya that doesn't actually deal with the reality of the situation at all? It's all about making yourself feel good. And I hate that kind of Band-Aid crap in a movie, man. We're past that. Not that in the 50s, 60s, 70s, sure, we're still figuring out what this is. In 2018, 19, whatever, it's ridiculous. It's completely ignorant, in my opinion. And so I when they were jumping up and down, I was like, you guys are crazy. You guys are fools for liking this movie like this. You have no idea what message you're sending,
I think that's just a function of more often than not, everybody always celebrates the winner after they won, and maybe get into the critical analysis later on.
No, but all 3 of them are pretty happy that it won and maintained it.
Okay.
So
I didn't see it. I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate in there. Because the job is, you want to celebrate because it's the post-celebration, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
To me, it is on the outside. Having never done it, that's all I would assume.
Fair enough. All right, where are we at? Oh, yeah. So anyway, that's what's your 2?
My 2 is Crash.
That's my 1. So, all right. Yeah. Talk about it.
It's just manipulative.
Yeah.
It gets to its emotional beats by there's such obvious, like, huge right hands or uppercuts or whatever. It's coming, and she's like, Matt Dillon say he was racist before and saves Tandy Newton from a burning car. Of course he does. And the little girl doesn't get shot, but ends up being blanks because the one, just like this convoluted series of events for all these individuals. Overall, just the year it won, as soon as it won, I think we all collectively went like, I can't believe that won.
Yeah.
But it's a weird year, though.
Yeah.
The 2 that I wrote down next to it were Good Luck and Good Night, and Munich.
Oh yeah, Munich. Yeah.
But I think Munich's a little bit flawed. So Good Night and Good Luck would be my choice for that one. But you also have Brokeback Mountain, which people wanted, or Capote. So
okay, all right.
I'm sure a lot of people would choose Brokeback.
Yes, a lot of people would choose Brokeback. I would choose it over Munich, that's for sure. And even though I like Munich, the sex scene at the end, I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, Munich. I know. I've already seen more times than I've seen Brokeback.
Bro, I would take Walk the Line over Crash.
Sure.
Mile.
Yeah, but he suffered from Jamie Foxx winning the year before.
Yeah, I think so too. Kind of like I feel Rocket Man suffered for Bohemian Rhapsody being 100%. So well.
When I think Rocket Man is a much more successful movie overall.
Dude, Cinderella Man's that year. How was Cinderella Man not nominated for Best Picture? Give me a fucking break, man. That's better.
They had to re-release that to even get people to pay attention to it that year, which is crazy. I mean, Russell Crowe movies had already won. They won back-to-back Oscars with Gladiator and A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah.
So,
okay, this is ridiculous. First of all, this year the nominees for these Best Pictures were ridiculous. Look, The Constant Gardener is this year.
That's
as I said,
much better movie to me.
Yeah, exactly. As I said, Cinderella Man's this year. A History of Violence. Some people really like A History of Violence. It's not my thing.
I like it. I like it better than Crash.
There you go. And Syriana's this year. I love Syriana. That's a goddamn good movie. I'd have put Syriana there as well.
Was that Clooney's first directorial?
Oh, that was Stephen Gaghan.
Because he did Good Night, Good Luck, which is nominated.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just Clooney canceled himself out on that one.
Maybe, man. Maybe. But either way, I mean, there's way better films. Even Capote doesn't hold up when you watch it now. Brokeback definitely still holds up. I watched that again about a year ago. And I think Good Night and Good Luck holds up as well. But if this was a 10-year, I think those other films are in the mix.
And we already have like 5 that would take over Crash.
Exactly.
It was I just couldn't believe it. It's just so manipulative. Like when Green Book won, that was leading up to it because the year was like of the nominated movies. It was all so very specific. Green Book was the most general type of. So I knew that was going to win. Like once it was in the mix, and like I'm pretty sure because The Favorite is very specific. Black Klansman is very specific. Black Panther has no real shot, but it's nice that it was nominated. Like all these others are. Roma is the one that I thought like that seemed so Oscar baity.
Yeah, it did. It did. Look, it's a good film, but it's not. I didn't think it was a Best Picture in my opinion. Best cinematography, sure. Best director,
Roma?
Absolutely, but not Best Picture, huh?
Yeah, Roma.
Yeah, Roma.
Yeah, the story I didn't grow up with it, so it was tougher to fully kind of immerse myself in it. It was interesting, and it was it was different. I like that about it. And it legitimizes streaming platforms as you can put out good movies on it.
Yeah.
Although now Netflix owns Grauman's.
Yeah, so I think so.
They can make sure that they don't have to pay somebody else to release their film in LA anymore, so they can do it here. And I'm sure they'll buy one in New York, and then they're good to go.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah. So that's my 2. What's your 2?
My 2 is Gone with the Wind.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
what else was that year? Hold on. I'm looking it up.
1940 or 1941? 1939, actually, I think is 1939.
Okay, you've got Dark Victory, Goodbye, Mr. Chips.
Yes.
Love Affair.
Oh, there's the answer right there. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Mr. Smith. Ninochka of Mice and Men, Stagecoach, The Wizard of Oz, Wuthering Heights.
Yep. Stagecoach is a remake of the 1927 one, I think, that won Best Picture as well, that John Ford directed. But no, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington is the answer. That film should have won Best Picture. Capra should have won Best Director. James Stewart should have won Best Actor. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, that film is the only films from like people still talk about Wizard of Oz and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. And the only reason people still talk about Not Gone with the Wind is because it was best, made the most money ever or whatever, adjusted for inflation. But that film is a terrible watch, man. It is rough, so boring. Glorifies the South, as the controversy said this past couple of weeks. And I got no problem with them putting up a disclaimer. I don't think you should ever ban that movie, but certainly putting up a disclaimer to explain that movie is absolutely correct and not censorship. So I'm cool with that. But it is it's such a melodrama, man. It's a soap opera for 3 hours of a film. And she's like just going through dudes left and right. And then by the end, the love of her life leaves her. She cries on the stairs for like 10 seconds, then stands up and goes, "Tomorrow is another day." Tara will be here. I was like, oh, get out. Just get out already. It's done.
Yeah.
Gable is great in the film. I think Gable is great in the film, but nobody else.
It didn't merit my consideration. So the point you brought up earlier of like, you don't know anybody that watches that movie and you don't either. So it didn't even merit, discussion within your head.
Totally fair.
To me, the opposite is the effect on Gone with the Wind, because it made the side list, but I was like, it's Gone with the Wind. Even if you find certain aspects of it troubling, like it was one of the biggest hits of all time. And it also culturally meant something during the Great Depression that the people made a point of pride to go out and see this so they could all kind of share in this collectively type of thing. I don't know. It just means so much that Wizard of Oz would be my choice because of its lasting effect through generation after generation.
I can see that. I can absolutely see that.
Yeah. Hell of a choice. I'll give you that.
All right. What's your one?
My one is American Beauty.
Oh, wow. All the way at the top. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for this. Go ahead.
Dude, it's terrible. It is utterly, completely, and wholeheartely terrible. Yeah. I hate every single person the camera decides to set its focus on. They're all, who am I supposed to identify with in all of this? Because they're all terrible people. And I think Family Guy lampooning the bag thing.
Oh my God, that was brilliant.
Up in heaven, it was like, have you seen the circulatory system? Like, I was so frustrated watching this stupid philosophical argument that the high school dipshit is trying to put out in the world. But this was written by an adult.
Yep.
So it's supposed to be heady, but it's just as dumb as some philosophical debate that a high school, kid puts out. I hate everything about this movie. Yeah, I find it utterly pretentious. I've had somebody, I think tweet at me being like, well, you got to be more specific than you just think it's pretentious. That's lazy criticism. You're like, okay, not to me. It's not. Yeah. But that's, if you love that movie, congratulations. I think it is the most flagrant for me, best picture winner. Just no. Is Spacey good in it? Sure. Is Cooper good in it? Sure. Is Annette Bening good in it? Sure. Do I enjoy watching the movie? No. Do I like any of the characters? No. Do I like the fucking arc of the thing overall? Nothing across the board. I fucking hate that movie. All right, and we already did your number one, so there's my rant corner over, and that's the show, baby.
No, I respect what you're saying, man. I'm not the biggest fan of America. I like Spacey in the movie, but when you watch it now, obviously, it's really it's what do they call that? It's troubling. It's I don't know. It's not good. Being
a pederast?
I mean, he's essentially a pederast, and you're supposed to feel like innocent about it, but it really isn't. It's troubling. So when you're watching, you're just like, this is not good at all. So
and he's the most likable character.
Right. And clearly both of them in a loveless marriage, doing what they could do to survive in that loveless marriage. And of course the paper bag, but the two's like, hey, I'm Wes Bentley and I talk like this in this movie, Yeah. And Wes Bentley is a damn good actor. Just in this movie, you're just like, ugh. And the Thora Birch stuff, you're watching it all play out. Yeah. You're just like, this is not that good of a movie, but it's well directed and it won the best picture, but it's not that good of a movie. So
is that Mendes?
That's Mendes, his first one.
And it's so strange to me because he's gone on to make tons of numerous movies that I think are great.
Oh
yeah. But this one is just like, man, this just god awful.
Yeah. I don't.
All right. Now, typing with one hand as I hold a mic is going to be interesting. But should be possible. Move that back.
Yeah, I mean, he did Skyfall. That might be his best film ever.
Yeah. What, 1917?
Yeah, 1917. I forgot about 1917. Yeah. Maybe that's his best film ever. Jesus, that's a good quote. Oh,
exactly. He's going on to make things that we both flat out love, and to get this kind of reaction.
It's true. I like the way we go. He did Jarhead as well. Road to Perdition.
Yeah, Road to Perdition.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So does Crash make number one then?
I guess, because what, 1, 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Argo, you have where?
7.
And what about American Beauty. 8?
Yeah.
Well, that's 1-8 for American Beauty or 4-7 for Argo. I would say 1-8.
Yeah, that's fine with me. And then Argo?
Yep.
Okay. Did you have Green Book on your list or no?
Yeah, I've got it at 8. Where do you have it?
3.
Okay, Green Book.
Okay. And then I still
Driving
have my
Miss Daisy.
Yeah.
And Dances with Wolves. You still have your what?
No, never mind. Go ahead. I still have my 2, Gone with the Wind. So wherever that first slot opens up.
Let's see. Driving Miss Daisy, you had where?
5.
So it's 5, 9, and then Dances you had at 6.
Yeah, 6.
So I went 6, 10. So what do you want to do? Do you want to do your number 2 or the Driving Miss Daisy at 5, 9, or Dances at 6, 10?
I feel like 5, 9 is better than 6, 10, right?
Oh yeah, I agree with that. And your 2 again, I'm sorry? Blanking.
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind. Okay. We have 3 spots left.
Oh, okay.
We have nothing else in common, right?
I don't think so. Titanic or Platoon. Argo's Dance with the Wolves is already up there.
Yep.
Green Book is already up there.
Yeah.
So I think my first 8 are already on the list. Crash, Gone with the Wind, Green Book, Annie Hall. Oh, Annie Hall, my number 4.
Okay, so my 3 beat you there, which is Shakespeare in Love.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's on purpose. Just making a point.
And then I have my 5. Can you beat a 5?
Yeah, my Annie Hall at 4.
Yeah, Annie Hall's is number 9.
Oh, okay. Then your 5 is, you're 5. Because Driving Miss Daisy is my 5. So
there we go. The Hurt Locker, done and done.
all right, it's on there. Let's do it. The top 10 overrated best picture movies. Yeah. At number 10.
The Hurt Locker.
At number 9.
Annie Hall.
At number 8.
Shakespeare in Love.
At number 7.
Gone with the Wind.
At number 6.
Dances with Wolves.
At number 5.
Driving Miss Daisy.
At number 4.
Green Book.
At number 3.
Argo.
At number 2.
American Beauty.
And our number 1 overrated best picture movie is
Crash.
So much fun, that film. There's only one good moment in that film, and that's when Michael Pena screams, holding his daughter, thinking she's been shot. It's a fucking awesome moment. But other than that, it's just so cheap. I mean, Sandra Bullock, people were giving her so much kudos for that film, and I was like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, no. All right, so I've got Sam's list.
Oh, yeah, let's see what Sam says.
And he says, hey, guys, before I get to my list, I just wanted to say thank you for the great content you guys have put out the past few years, but specifically all the podcasts you've done over the past few months. I've been cooped up in NYC since mid-March because of the pandemic, working from home and barely even leaving my apartment the entire time. It may only be just a couple hours each week, but your podcast has truly made these strange times a little easier. So again, thank you.
Nice.
Now for my list, there's some great movies that won on my list, but I just think the other nominees or other movies released that year are much better or more rewatchable. And some, I believe, have aged poorly, particularly through a 2020 lens.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, a couple movies, number 10 and 6, I am not a big fan of, but there wasn't a strong enough nominee that I revisit to move it higher on my list. So at 10, he's got Green Book.
Mm-hmm.
9, Titanic.
Okay.
8, The King's Speech.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah, me too. I think that year you could choose 5 movies, and I think they were all deserving.
True.
7 is Rocky.
What?
Yeah. Look, I'm not a fan of Rocky, and I still think that year is so impossible that it's fine that it won. Yeah. 6 is Crash.
Okay.
5 is American Beauty. 4, Forrest Gump. That made my honorables. 3 is Shakespeare in Love. This guy gets it. 2 is Dances with Wolves, and number 1 is Driving Miss Daisy.
Oh, there, see, there it is.
And then he's got a number of honorables, but that was on his official list.
Wow, strong statements. Strong statements.
But Sam, thank you for sending in your list and participating and being a Boss Hog member. Our thanks to everybody that supports us at patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. And to those that are part of the new show, you should have gotten an email by the time you hear this. So go check your email. We have reached out to you, and we're going to start figuring out the times that we can tape these and start getting them out to the people. But winnowing down, see who could be a potential guest on the show coming up after we play our little game show beforehand. And thanks to everybody that helps us put this show together. Chris Alexakos and Joe Ibarra, Mike Shea, Kristen Smith, Matthew Hasso. And you can follow me anywhere at Matt Nost. And that is it for me this week.
Yeah, thank you all so much for supporting the show, being a part of the show. Thank you, Sam, for sending in your list, and thank you for the compliments, saying that we've entertained you. And I know we've heard from a number of people we've entertained over this tough last few months, and we can't thank you enough for still being fans of the show, supporting the show, coming aboard the show. And for those of you looking forward to the new show, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun times with that one. That's for damn sure. And so we're all looking forward to that. So you can follow me at The Roca Says on Twitter and on Instagram. Please also subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/John Roca Says. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Maybe you didn't know that. Maybe listen to the podcast. You can go and find us on YouTube. You can subscribe to that channel as well, and vice versa. If you've just watched us on YouTube, you don't know we're in podcast form, go and find us, the top 10 there, and wherever you download your podcast, and enjoy us there. All right, for Matt Nost, I am John Roca, and that's it for this week's The Top 10.